That's not too bad. Hey guys, we're totally sitting here just setting up shit like what? I don't know what's going on. Let me go turn this light off over here. It's a little too bright.
Bright?
Yeah.
That's why we look so dark.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Andrea. And now we're live on the TikTok as well. Hey guys, so it's Friday night. Your normal Mandy and Pam time. I know you guys have missed us. We've missed y'all. So yeah. Waiting for everybody to pop up. I say waiting for everybody to pop up, like, I don't know.
I say we just go.
Go. So it's our normal Friday night. I have a few things to talk about tonight, but I have a feeling, like always, we end up getting sidetracked and pulled onto something else, and then something else and something else and something else. So we decided to be comfortable tonight, and we're sitting on the couch because fuck that chair. I'm sorry. I hate sitting in that chair sometimes. So we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming holiday next week. Also about probably wow, that was a weird sound that I just made. Probably about the Ascension a little bit, some time shifts, some dreams, just whatever. We don't really have a set schedule to talk about tonight. So first, let's talk about Mabon, though, because one of the things that we've found a lot lately is that a lot of people aren't really sure about the pagan holidays. They don't know when they are, how to celebrate, etc. So Mabon is coming up on the solstice, the 21st, which is Tuesday. And this is kind of the pagan Thanksgiving, guys. So on Tuesday, this next week, instead of doing my normal oracle cards, I had a weird hair sticking up there. Instead of doing my normal oracle cards, we love you too, Answer Pink. We'll be doing a special like Mabon, come celebrate pagan Thanksgiving with us. So some of the traditional foods, we'll have a few things. I don't know if Pam will be here or at her house, but we'll be sitting and eating in front of y'all. So we encourage you guys to enjoy Mabon with us on Tuesday. We'll be here at 8, of course, on YouTube and on TikTok. So come celebrate the holiday with us. It'll be awesome to celebrate with people from around the world. So really traditional Thanksgiving foods like we think of kind of here in the U.S. are some of the things that you normally eat. Turkey, chicken, corn, apples, apple butter, dark breads like the rye breads and things like that. And yeah.
Guys, listen, it's nothing that you have to make this ginormous spread over. Literally go to your local deli, get you a roasted chicken, rotisserie chicken, some sides, and enjoy it.
So yeah, Mother Nature's TikTok. Hi in Georgia. We'll be heading your way sometime soon. So that was one of the first things. Mabon itself, being the second harvest, it's also a time to reflect back on the wheel of the year and what all you have had some major success in, what you need to let go of. So as far as letting go, I'm going to scoot over closer to Pam. She's just going to have to like it.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
So let's see. Let's situate here a little bit. There we go. All right. We have a different setup tonight. Oh, we have 113. Looky there.
Well.
All right. Lucky number.
Imagine that.
So this is a time to let go of the bad shit, guys. Mabon is a time to really reflect on all the good that's happened in the last year. So this is when you want to look at what manifestations did you put in place? Did they work amazingly or beyond what you would have thought? What manifestations failed miserably? What habits do you need to let go of? What people do you need to cut out of your life? Mabon is really for a time of letting go of unhealthy habits, destructive behavior, bad patterns, and so on. So this is also kind of smacking me in the face because I've been feeling like My ass needs to go to the gym or at least work out a little more, eat a little better. So I'm kind of calling myself out. Well, thank you, Miss Mom. We appreciate that. I know, right? Pam looks all cute with her shoulders.
I don't show them often.
So Mabon is the 21st. This is the fall solstice. And that is traditionally when Mabon is. It's usually celebrated anywhere from the 21st to the 23rd. It just kind of depends. We're going to celebrate on the 21st live here with you guys because it is a Tuesday when we're normally here on live.
Yay.
So, yeah. So we would love to celebrate with you guys. So next Tuesday, please, 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 please come and visit. So my question is, how do I keep my spirits up if I'm surrounded by negativity? So that's something you have to work on personally. You have to put a very good shield around yourself. You have to make sure that you have everything you need to keep yourself strong. Cutting people out is going to be a humongous thing for you. And that is one of the hardest things to do, especially if they're people close to you. If they are people that, you know, family-wise, been around a long time, it can be very, very hard to cut those people out.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not possible, just daily affirmations to yourself that you don't have to be around this negativity. If you have to be around it, put a wall up in front of yourself.
Sage, aren't you sweet?
Put a barrier up so that you are encased in this light and this shell where everything, all of the crap from negativity, from everybody, from all directions, you are completely covered and it bounces right off of you.
Yeah.
And just do it. That's really all you can do. And by doing your manifestations, and when you see the small things that are coming to fruition that you're manifesting, that literally is going to raise your vibration so that all the negativity is going to just like go away from you.
So somebody on TikTok, Andrea, said that when they cut people out, it was very hard and they actually mourned for 2 days. And that's one thing, guys, when you're starting to cut people out of your life, I have something snagging in the back of my hair. I can feel it. When you're starting to cut people out of your life, mourn that, because that is a loss. That's removing somebody from your life.
Yeah.
So somebody said something about the energy drain, the cosmic shift. We're going to talk about that here in just a second because, we're going to talk about it in just a second. So, someone said I had a family reunion on Sunday and I got so drained and uncomfortable, almost felt sick. And unfortunately, that's the problem. Yeah. Is everybody has people like this in their lives. Mm-hmm. We do, literally everybody. You are totally not alone in this. So yeah. It is something that it takes you a while to do, to work up the courage to do. It takes you a while to actually do it. Somebody on TikTok also said about a cord cutting spell. You can do that as well. Mm-hmm. It's all how you feel needs to happen.
How to protect yourself from Debbie Downer that sits next to you at work. I would literally just put a jar together. Mm-hmm. Kind of a gimme 50 feet type of jar that is beautiful, and nobody is any the wiser that is sitting on your desk, and that is keeping everybody away from you, that is not in your higher good, that is not keeping you in a good mood, because Lord knows you need that at work. But you can also put that shell around you, literally put the shell around your cubicle or as far out as you want to, and so that no one is going to put that crap on you.
Yeah. And we love you too, Joanne. And another thing that you can do, there are all kinds of different herbs. There's all kinds of different stones. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of amazing things you can do and just put around. One of the things that we personally do, I do this in my house, I do it in my office. In the corner, each corner, I have several things. I have a piece of raw quartz this is quartz I dug up in Arkansas, but you can get any quartz, okay? I would say cracked quartz works the best. I also have a cedar wheel, and you can literally order these on Amazon, guys. They're meant to go around your hangers to make your clothes smell good and so on. I ward mine for protection, for not just protection, but protection for my spirit and for cleansing everything in my house, for making this or that office or whatever my sacred space. And then I also have a black walnut shell. Black walnut is for cutting ties with stuff like negative shit. So yeah, that's what I do. And when I'm putting those out, I set the intentions that it makes a grid. I put it in the 4 main corners of my house, office, whatever.
And the higher your vibration gets, the more you feel like you're awakening, and the more you are trying to connect with your spirituality, the more all that negative crap is going to come your way. For one, you're going to notice it more because you don't have time for it. You don't have the need for it, the want for it. You just want it away from you. So it does seem like, why is it's so much worse? It's so much worse. It's not really that much worse. It's just you are noticing it because your vibration is going up higher.
Somebody said if I put protection in my mailbox, will it stop the bills? I fucking wish. Because if we can figure that out, we do what we do for free. So, yeah. So let's see here. Somebody had said something really good. Ooh, I didn't mean to knock y'all backwards there for a minute. Mama said, well, let me say your actual name instead of just Mama. Mom Life 28 said, I just did a send back with rosemary, sea salt, and cloves and put their name on it. That's a wonderful thing you can do. Also, here's another really cool thing y'all can do that just looks all cute. Nobody knows anything different. If you have somebody really negative that sits next to you at work or in your office or whatever, or maybe you have several, I don't know, you can make them a little candy jar. So and this goes on your desk, whatever, as close as you can get it to them. But what you want to do is get a cute little jar, fill it a little bit of the way with candy. And the best things for this are like nerds, something colorful, but loose candy. So you can put something down the middle of it and not see it. So what I do is I get gold leaf paper. I write the person's name and usually what I would like to happen. But here's the thing. You need to phrase it in a prosperous way for that person. So I might say, if I'm sitting next to somebody at work that is just a complete dick and I want them to go somewhere else, I would put something in there that says, I want Bob to be successful in another job, to find the perfect job for him somewhere else, something like that. So you want to put out there that you want that person to be successful just away from you.
And you can also put intention in a bowl of individual packaged candies. Set your intention that whoever comes and takes a piece of this candy will have a wonderful day. They will have it over there. They will not complain. Things will go smoothly. And so everybody who's coming and enjoying the things, because you're sweetening the situation. You're making it
deja
sweeter.
vu feeling means that you were meant to watch us this evening. And I don't say that just lightly. We have a lot of people that say something about that. So
Peace, Love, and Light says, I took your advice, Pam, about the white light, and I've had the most amazing, peaceful sleep in a long time. I love that. And you're correct. People are attracted to higher vibrational people. So all the negative people are also attracted to higher vibrational people because they feel that energy. They feel that, oh God, something's different about them. Let's find out what that is, because that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, those people. And so you're just like, I don't have time for this. So yeah, it feels a lot worse to you.
Yeah. So, thank you. Stretchy Gretchy said your lives really do have a practical magic anti-vibe. So that's what we try.
That's what we aim for.
Would it help if I told you that I not only brought in 2 spheres in here, but I have my bone pin and I brought my huge purple brachiated jasper this evening?
I don't know.
Does that help?
She was like getting ready and I walked in her bedroom and she's like picking up and I'm thinking, what is she getting ready for? Okay.
Yep, is what it is.
Is it ever too late to start this type of lifestyle? I'm 47. Absolutely
of course not. Of course
Absolutely not. It is never, ever too late.
Yeah. And what's funny is, Sweet Pea, you are not alone. We talk to people all the time that are just realizing they've been in this realm the whole time. They're just walking into their own power and so on. So yes, absolutely. So hang on, let me scroll back up here. Every time I touch this, it rocks backwards. It's irritating. We had a death. What are some good herbs for grief? Well, first of all, I'm really sorry, Sweet Pea.
Sorry about that.
And I know that Pam and I and everybody here are sending out, some calming and healing vibes, because I know the ripples that has.
Yeah.
I want to talk about ripples here in a minute too. Let me write that down, because it was something that came up a lot this week in a lot of different conversations. So some good herbs for grief. Peppermint is a good one. Lavender, rose, rosemary, lemon balm. I really would. Pink lotus. I keep sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I could rattle off like a whole bunch. There's a lot of different things. Birch, apple. And when I say apple, I don't just mean you can use apple bark, you could use apple leaves, you could use apple seeds. That helps traverse the veil a little bit. So yeah, any of those things would happen. Okay, how can the questions be answered if lie is disguised as truth? Ooh, are you talking about somebody lying to you? Because that would be interesting. Yay! So Sabrina said about the black horses, and I want to talk about that in just a second. But Andrea, somebody on TikTok said, I just turned 57 at beginning this journey. So see, Sweet Pea, you are not alone. And
No,
yeah,
you're not.
Can you explain what you ladies do real quick? Oh, we would love to. So definitely. What we do on our lives here is, this is kind of a every Friday night at 9 p.m. Central. Here we are on YouTube and TikTok. And then on Tuesday nights, we're here at 8. I do readings for the signs. This next week will be a little different, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But what we do on Friday nights is that we usually try to talk about 2 or 3 topics for about an hour. And then for another hour, we literally answer questions. But tonight, we have a few topics we want to talk about, but we're still going to end up just doing this.
Just get them out of there.
Who's this?
I don't know. Not real.
No. Ta-da! Our first block of the night. Yeah. So anyway, we try to help people on their spiritual path. There will be some trolls popping in, because there are a lot of people that, even though they preach acceptance and tolerance and that you should be great to everybody.
We'll talk about the black horse and just
we'll talk about the black horse in a second. So yeah, we will have people pop up. Thanks, Daphne. So for those of you guys who watch our lives at all or whatever, if you don't follow Pam, make sure you do. I'll have her pop on her thing here in a minute so you guys can follow her. But also Miss Daphne 2.0 on here. She's fixing to have a little tiny. So send her all the good vibes. So let's see here. Hang on. What was that? How do I prepare for my Blue Raven tea? So let me answer this, and then we'll talk about the black horses. So the Blue Raven tea is something that you guys can get on our website. It is a shamanic tea blend. No, it will not make you pop hot on a drug test. There are no drugs in it. It's all herbs. Well, we're happy to see you, Damien. But to prepare for it, one thing I would say to do, what I always do is I get my meditation space, which is my bed, ready first, because it will make you sleepy. So I get everything set up, boil that tea for about 5 minutes at a good hard boil, and then let it sit. So the longer it sits, the stronger it's going to get. So kind of be prepared for that.
And it is legit.
Yeah.
Legit stuff.
So I get everything set up. I get some music going. I usually play something that is on YouTube that is 10 to 11 hours long, even though I'm not going to sleep that long. But it's usually a different hertz frequency. There are some that are like 528 is a good one.
They got theirs today.
Good. Yeah, 963, things like that. Somebody asked what tea. Pam and I make shamanic tea blends, and we make one called the Blue Raven, which is for shamanic traveling. For right now, we've been selling a lot of it, and here's why. And this is something else we're going to talk about. A lot of people are going through an ascension right now from 3D to 5D. We talked about this last week, but we've already had some people mention it. So we're going to talk about it again because it's fixing to happen to a lot of people quicker than you realize. So first, let's talk about the horses. Is the Starseed tea? No. No, it's not.
It is not.
And even the teas we have that have some light hallucinogenics in them, you're not going to sit there like you're on mushrooms. I love this thing, but it looks weird all the time. You're not going to sit there like on mushrooms and be tripping out and stuff like that. This is more for meditation, for traveling, etc. So yeah, it's not going to be anything like that. So I went to a salt cave from over there. Ooh, a salt cave. That sounds awesome. So black is protection. White is clarity. So yeah. So 432. So when it comes to the ones that are classified as a solfeggio frequency, there's 9 of them. That doesn't mean they're the only frequencies. There's a fuck ton of frequencies. So just because it's not classified on that list of 9 doesn't mean it's not a good frequency. I rarely anymore listen to those 9 because I have kind of moved up vibrationally where I have to listen to higher ones. For example, 333 is not on the solfeggio frequencies, but it's one that I listen to a lot. There's a really good meditation out there that is 333, 333, and 3333. That's fabulous. Hey, Bowie. So yeah, don't just take things you see on different TikToks with a grain of salt, guys. Take what resonates with you and use that. But yeah, just because it's not listed on the solfeggio frequencies doesn't mean it's not a frequency.
We forgot to check on international shipping.
Yeah, we did. We're failures. Shit.
And we even wrote it down last time.
We did.
I mean, you can write it down.
We wrote down to Canada, so
we'll find that out, and we'll update on Tuesday. Promise. Yeah. Promise.
Yeah. I've seen her heard 33 all day. There you go, love. Yeah, there's a really good one. If you get online and just search, and you want to search out, put it this way, 3 hertz, 33 hertz, 333 hertz, and 33 hertz. There is a meditation out there. It's not on YouTube, but you can find it by looking that up. It's fantabulous. It's fantabulous. It's like an hour long. So it's fantabulous. So let's talk about the black horses, and then we'll talk about ripples, and then we'll talk about Ascension, and then we're just going to snowball from there. So the black horses are something that I mentioned a few weeks ago. We are looking for some to put on the website for you guys, but you don't have to buy one from us or whatever. Literally print you one out. Find one you can print out. Draw a black stick figure horse if you need to. If you can't, go get one or whatever, cool. Draw a black stick figure horse. So the horses came about because I found 2 totem horses, little Trojan horses that were black ceramic. I bought one. I have one beside my side of the bed, and Pam has one. Found out later they're like a really expensive, amazing little ceramic from a place here in Tulsa that no longer makes them anymore. I got them at a garage sale for 50 freaking cents a piece. Made me happy. But
there's actually a new, they're building a whole new factory down by my house. Yeah.
Right on. So
but they're expensive. Yeah. So literally guys, you can get a plastic horse, a resin horse, a whatever, as long as it's a black horse. Yeah.
So here's what they're for and why I mentioned them. Pam and I have them because Pam is a dreamwalker. I don't dreamwalk as much as I astral travel a little too much sometimes. We use those to tether ourselves here, tether ourselves together. There's been times we've had to go get other people, etc. So I said a couple weeks ago, if you guys would like to get a black horse beside your bed to help A, tether you here, and B, if you need one of us it tethers you to us as well. So while we're talking on any of our lives, whether it is the Friday night or the Tuesday night, if you guys bring your horse in and just kind of have it sitting there, just let it sit. You don't have to do anything special with it. Just let it sit, let it listen to us for a little bit, whatever, while we're talking. So it can kind of get attuned to our energies as well as yours together. That we've had some people tell us, a lot of people will tell Pam that she showed up in a dream to help them somewhere. I've had more than a few people lately tell me that since I mentioned the horse thing and, that I could come get them if they got too far astral traveling, that I have actually gone and brought them back. And I will say that I haven't been dreaming a lot lately, but I'm waking up exhausted. So apparently I'm going to get a lot of you people that are getting too far out there. But all you have to do, literally draw a stick figure on a piece of paper. You can do it literally right now. Oh, I got to quit saying literally. Literally. It's getting literally irritating. Okay. No more literally from Andy. So that's what the black horses are. They're a totem that if you have problems when you're dreaming, you can get Pam. If you have problems when you're astral traveling or astral projecting, you can come get me. I got you. We got you. Yeah. So great question. Someone said, what is the difference in dream walking and astral projection? So I'm going to let Pam talk about dream walking, and then I'll talk about astral projection.
So dream walking is the ability to, because all dreams are interconnected, it's the ability to go into others' dreams as they're having dreams. I've done it my whole life. So just learning that I was the common denominator in showing up in other people's dreams is a little bit different than astral traveling, because this is literally walking into other dreams, where astral projecting is literally, you can do it in a meditative state.
Tara, we've been coming up with shirt ideas, guys, and Pam always says, I can goddamn not. I can literally goddamn not.
I don't even know where I got to saying that, but anyway, yeah. But dream walking is going in dreams. Astral travel is, look at Zeus. Astral travel is,
my dog wants to be in.
You can astral travel when you're just meditating, when you're just in an awake state, you can astral travel. So it's a little bit different than being in a sleep state.
Hi.
Oh, good God.
This would be Zeus. He felt the need to come be in the shot. So the black horses, people keep asking about the black horses. It's not from any belief system or whatever. I found them at a garage sale. And when I did, I went, oh God, I need these right now. I knew that those were the totems that Pam and I needed. So it doesn't really come from anything in particular. However, the color black is not only protective, but it's banishing. So that helps us banish anything that's negative, that's bothering you or whatever. It also is protective. So yeah, the famous Zeus.
So somebody's saying they think that they may be one. And I did see on somebody here where somebody said that they are also a dream walker. I don't hear that very often. So I appreciate that very much when somebody says that. To know if you're a dream walker, there's not a lot of information out there. You just have to feel like, I've had people tell me my whole life that I showed up in their dream, or that I can hear them telling a dream and I know that that's the dream that I had as a child. Now, as I've gotten older, I don't realize I'm in other people's dreams until they tell me, you were in my dream. Mm-hmm. I even had somebody tell me I was in a dream before they even met me.
Yeah.
And then they met me and they knew who I was and they figured out, that I was a dream walker. And so, yeah.
So someone said, why do you appear at the end when I astral project? So let's talk about astral projection and astral traveling. So astral projection and astral traveling are two separate things, guys. Astral projection is when you can leave your body, like walk in your living room or whatever. In fact, if you're wanting to learn to astral project, that's what I would recommend. Start with your house. You're safe. You know where everything is. And you don't have to worry about anything. My dogs are now going to wrestle on the couch because we're over here doing shit. Astral traveling is different. Astral traveling is where you leave your body and you go to the astral plane. Now, I don't recommend astral traveling. Hey, gentlemen, I don't recommend astral traveling unless you have protections in place. You know what you're doing. And knowing what you're doing doesn't mean going and listening to somebody on TikTok. It means learning how to meditate and calm your mind and learning how to control what you're seeing and what you're doing. One of the best things to start doing this is with lucid dreaming. And I'll tell you guys how to train your brain to lucid dream here in just a second. Because in astral traveling, in the astral plane, there are a whole bunch of things there. For the most part, they don't give a shit about us. They don't care. However, you start showing up repeatedly there, you ping their interest, because then they think, okay, if I just see you once or twice, whatever, it's an accident. They know how we are. If they start seeing you regularly, then they get interested, because how the hell are you coming here regularly, going to the same place, etc. So then it becomes an issue with them piggybacking to come back here. And this is where a lot of sleep paralysis comes from. It's where a lot of seeing cloaked figures in your rooms come from.
Just your general night terrors.
Yeah. So like that is harder to get rid of once they catch a ride back with you. So unfortunately, I've had to deal with one of my own. I had it for a very long time, and it took a long time to get rid of it. So that's a good question. Kids that do it naturally. There are actually a lot of people that do it naturally. People that are epileptic will do it naturally. This is why I was doing it and not knowing I was doing it. People that have a brain injury can do it. People that are neurodivergent can do it naturally without realizing they're doing it while they're asleep. So kids that are autistic, etc.
And I'm not any of those things, but I'm different in that dreams are just weird, a different part of what I do. So
yeah. So if you guys have a kiddo that is epileptic or neurodivergent or has a brain injury, anything like that, you want to make sure you have plenty of protections in place in their room, around their bed, and around your house, because they can, yeah, Daphne. Yeah. So one of the best things you can do, here's what I personally do. This is what I've started doing, is I have a selenite stick under each side of my bed. I also have a piece of black tourmaline next to the selenite sticks under each side of my bed. For some of you guys that have little kids or you have dogs or animals that might mess up said selenite sticks, and so put them between your mattresses. Just get a smaller piece and put them on the corner, you know what I mean, on the sides between your mattresses. And then, I also have a sleep jar beside my bed that I made. I will have those on the site tomorrow. It took me a while to get one made how I wanted to take a picture of it, but I will have sleep protection jars on the site tomorrow. This has a whole bunch of different herbs, stones, and mine include a few bones sometimes, depending on what they're for, how bad it is.
We're talking about astral traveling versus dream walking versus somebody just asked if lucid dreaming, flying, is it lucid dreaming or astral travel? Lucid dreaming is completely different than all of these. Lucid dreaming is just simply dreaming, but in that moment that you are dreaming and you're able to control your dreams. That's different than astral travel. That's different than dream walking as well.
Yeah. So astral traveling, you can control to a sense, to a degree, not to a sense, to a degree. After you get really good at it, you can control it a lot, but then you are really, really at risk of things piggybacking on you. So you have to make sure that you have all your protections in place.
Which is why until your child is able to put their own protections in place, why it's important that you put those stones around their bed, or that how in Christianity, your parents go in and say your bedtime prayers. You can do that with the white light protecting, putting yourself in the egg. You can go over it with your child and wrap them in that white light, wrap them, put the eggshell around them. And until they get it. And when they get it and they are able to do it on their own, they'll be protected.
Mm-hmm. Salt around the bed is a good one too. That's a really good one too. Whatever you feel you need to put around there to protect yourself, do it. That's just what I do, is selenite and tourmaline. And then, like I said, I also have those things in the corners of my house and so on. But if you guys feel you need to do something else, etc., that's what you need to do. Onyx is an amazing protective piece. I always forget the name of it. Damn it. You would think I wouldn't after all this. Spinel. Black spinel. There we go. Black spinel is a really awesome stone. I'll show you guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful black stone. It grows with diamonds. It's found with diamonds. What's funny is it's actually rarer than diamonds, but it's cheap as shit. It's great protective. Hematite is a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's talk about some of the ascension things, because this is something that was mentioned earlier, and people aren't understanding what's going on. And it's hard with today's climate to not think, oh God, do I have COVID? I'm exhausted all the time, and so on. So people right now are ascending from 3D to 5D. And this isn't so much you're ascending spiritually, but your body's having to now keep up with you. One of the main things is fatigue. You're tired all the fucking time. Like, it doesn't matter how much you sleep, how much you don't sleep, how much you relax. You're exhausted. It doesn't matter. The brain fog is the other one. It's crazy. Whereas you used to be able to pay attention to everything, suddenly you're like, I don't even remember the word I just wrote down right before this one. We haven't talked about ripples yet, but we will right after this, because I'm kind of trying to flow a little bit.
Well, Daphne, yours could be a double-edged sword there, honey. Yours could just be because you are so big and pregnant that it's not helping.
Yeah. So most of these symptoms started within the last 6 months, and they have gotten really bad within the last 2 months. The last month has been horrendous for most people that are ascending. You are so damn thirsty you can't stand yourself. Doesn't matter how much water you drink, you're still chugging water. You're having really, really weird aches and pains where you've never had them before.
My worst thing is food intolerance.
Yeah. The food intolerance.
Meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not handling meat at all.
Yeah.
And it's killing me. Like getting my gallbladder in a freaking uproar.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Yep.
That's another one. I'm not doing well with sugar.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot. Yeah. Not hungry. That's how I've been lately. I am not hungry, and both of us are diabetic. So we have to eat. We have to make sure we eat and so on. And we've had horrendous times keeping our sugar under control lately. Mine has been dumb. Absolutely dumb. But dizziness. Yeah.
Yeah. Lightheaded.
Yep. And so there's a lot of things going on with this. It just keep in mind, it's your body trying to adjust to your spirit leveling up tremendously. So blood pressure. Yeah. Mine's been really weird and wonky too. So blurry vision is another one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Seeing little pinpricks in your sight. So I have migraines and I see auras, and I see auras also before seizures. But these have been really interesting in that they're like little weird pinpricks of light here and there. Almost like there's like something in between you and what you're actually seeing, and you're seeing little pinpricks. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really, really weird. Tingling, yes. So the loss of memory is an interesting one. I'll let Pam talk, and then I want to talk about that.
Where somebody's saying that they're gaining weight, that they had gastric sleeve and they can't stop eating. It's either one extreme or the other. You are gaining weight without really doing a whole lot different than what you normally do, or you're losing weight. So, it can be one extreme or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The memory thing is horrible. So let's talk about that. Because the memory thing, this kind of goes into time shifts, and then we need to talk about ripples. Time shifts have also been happening to in a massive amount of people. It's been getting all over TikTok. I've been getting tagged in videos on a daily basis about it, just because we've talked about it repeatedly. A lot of people have been going through time shifts. And when I say time shifts, I don't mean something like Rick and Morty-esque where you're going to, some weird, whatever dimension. What's happening is you're shifting universes slightly. You're going to notice things like a ton of glitches in the matrix. You're going to notice things like, okay, my neighbor's shed used to have a green roof and now it's red and he swears it's always been red. Or you're going to see, Pam and I have actually been driving and watched cars behind us shift. It's weird. People have seen and felt buildings shift. Like it's interesting.
It happened to us last weekend. We were just kind of sitting here, and a friend of ours that was here with us, she and I felt it initially, and then after I left, she calls me. She's like, "I just felt that it literally just felt like the whole building just kind of dipped a couple of times," and you're just like, "What was that? What was that?"
Car lights look different. Yeah, the ground breathes. There's a lot of shit.
I was telling Mandy that my dogs are looking at me different, like they're having to really look at me to recognize me. They're not aggressive or barking or like they don't know who I am, but they're just giving me these really strange looks. That's really throwing me.
Yeah, we started talking about that today because when we were sitting here,
the ground is bouncy. That's exactly what it feels like. You just feel this dip, and you're like, "What was that?" Yeah,
and we were sitting here, and my dogs all of a sudden were just staring at me, and I was like, "What? What are you guys looking at?" And it's just, I mean, we don't know exactly how dogs see us. So I'm sure their smell is amazing, so I'm sure that there's something different. But a lot of people are experiencing really bad memory loss with it. Yeah. I've talked to so many people in different appointments, different spiritual counseling appointments, where they're like, I suddenly can't remember my whole middle school years. It's just gone. I know these friends I've still had, but it's gone. I can't remember anything else. Or they're looking back at photos and going, when was I here? When did we go here? And the person you're with is like, oh shit, we used to go there all the time. You don't remember that?
No. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a part of going from 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, Daphne, you're one of them. Yeah. But believe it or not, you are not alone. We've had so many people that have said, I'm missing pieces of my childhood. I don't remember my first year of college, and I'm not a drinker or a partier. I don't remember this honeymoon that I supposedly had. I don't remember going this place, going that place. Yeah. You don't remember. You have no idea what's going on. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff with my childhood that's gone. It's just weird.
Straight up.
So yeah.
Like my husband's trying to tell me we've eaten at a restaurant we were walking into, and I had never been there. And he said, yes, we've eaten here. I don't know. Could have been with his girlfriend. Who knows? But he swore up down. We've been here. And I'm just like, I wasn't going to argue but I honestly, I don't remember the first thing about ever walking into that building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things that are, and you guys just have to think of it like this. You shifted. You've probably shifted a couple of times.
And a lot of people are not remembering dreams. You have people who are like, oh my God, my dreams are so vivid that they're scary. And I don't even, I mean, they're so real. Like when I wake up, I'm like, was that real? Did that just happen? And then you have people who are saying, I don't remember anything about my dreams.
Somebody said I was having really bad seizures and missing days. I understand that a lot. Having seizures isn't fun. And when you're shifting and you're leveling up and so on like that, it can throw you into some really bad seizures, and you do miss time. I've also found, Pam and I have both had this happen where we've missed time. We've lost an hour while we were driving, and even the GPS couldn't explain where we were for that hour. It was weird. Mm-hmm. So just things like that.
And seeing things out of the corner of your eyes, if someone is there, they're watching, but it doesn't really freak you out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Juanita, a lot of people are not remembering their childhood or most of high school, getting dizzy, lightheaded, and having to force yourself to eat. That's classic.
And somebody, I've seen a few people say, "Oh, sorry, here's my first yawn." I've seen a few people on TikTok say, I thought I was going crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy. I can't tell anybody this shit." And that's the problem. Yeah, because you tell a lot of people this and they're like, "Okay, weirdo."
She's lost her mind.
Yeah.
She's lost her mind.
Trust me, there's been more than a few conversations we've had that started, and I'm crazy. And then we had the conversation. Like, I'd walk in, or Pam would walk in and be like, "I'm full on crazy now. Here's what happened."
And it doesn't mean that if you don't have some of these symptoms that, oh, well, I guess I just felt like I went. No, you don't have to have all of these. You can just have a few of these, a couple of these, or they go into, you're going into phases of these. You don't have to have all of these symptoms all at one time to be experiencing this.
Yeah. And so one thing that this is one reason I am grateful for everybody recording everything lately, because there's a lot of videos surfacing where, in fact, I have one that was right out here. Pam was going to this a couple weeks ago. There was a whole bunch of videos going around where it looked like the sky was split in half, where like one side was dark and one side was light, and there was no clouds. Literally was just a light. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, but that could be CGI. And it could be CGI, but I literally have a video over the parking lot in my apartments. I took pictures and everything where there's a line, and on one side it's kind of sunny and like what you would expect with a really bright sunny afternoon. And on the other side, it's like blue sky where it's still bright and sunny, but it's different. It's darker. It's so weird. And it's a straight line. There's no cloud. There's no nothing. It's the weirdest shit. But there's a lot of people that are posting glitches that are having things disappear on them, reappear. Sometimes they don't. Most of the time they don't reappear, but it's just really, really weird, random shit. And so,
guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about a myriad of symptoms that everyone's having collectively with the ascension and with their spiritual awakenings, just all the different things.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things, what was I fixing to say?
I don't know.
I don't
know. Somebody posted on here, did our psychic abilities get stronger when we met each other? Funny you say that. I've never really considered that, but yeah, very much so. But I know that we were brought together for a specific reason. And that specific reason
that's actually too, Sabrina.
I am her tether. I am what keeps her here. And that's why we work so well together when we do shamanic traveling, because
that's a great question about multiple realities.
She gets to do the hard work, and I get to do the tethering, which takes us to a place and brings us back from wherever it is we're traveling to. So
someone asked if we'd ever witnessed multiple realities or multiple dimensions at the same time. Yeah, a few times. And it's freaky. It's where the main way I notice it is I will be looking at someone's face and I'll see them now. And also usually when they were way younger, or like, so say maybe they're in their 50s now, and I'm looking at their face right now. I'll see them in their 50s. I'll see them in their 20s and maybe their teens, or sometimes younger than that at the same time. And it's really cool, but it's really freaky, but you can't stop looking because you don't want to break it.
That happened in one of our coven meetings that we had, that one of the ladies, Mandy could see her as her younger self, her younger version of herself when we didn't know her.
What do you say to the skeptic? So that's a hard one, because, and I did see, here you go, take a screenshot of Pam. That's what you say to skeptic.
That's what I said to skeptics.
So here's what's interesting. And I saw someone say earlier, well, how do you prove that or whatever? It is very hard to prove.
It is.
Until they experience it
Until you experience it.
But here's the thing. And I had this conversation with somebody earlier. Some people didn't pay attention to this story when it came out. Some people did. Most of the people that did are, actually, I've had this conversation 3 times in the last 2 days. Shit. Okay. There was a story about Google making a quantum time crystal, that their physicists had made one. When I saw that story, it was a little tiny story, and I immediately saved it on my phone, and I told Pam, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Every damn fucking sci-fi horror movie that starts with something like this ends up something really bad.
Yeah.
And then stories started coming out, little bitty ones. And since I had saved that story, I started getting, pinged with the other ones when they came out. So not only have they created crystals, not one, multiple now, but they've been using them to jump forward anywhere from, they said, several seconds to several minutes.
And I can tell you, when she was reading me this story, I said, that is what's happening to the veil. They're damaging the veil by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sitting here saying that was their plan, that they want the veil to fall, because it's not good for humanity that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it is happening.
Yeah.
I think that, I'm not saying that's the collective cause. I'm just saying that has a lot to do with what we're experiencing right now.
And we'll talk about the veil in a minute too. I just want to talk about this real quick. It's off topic, but is it normal to have a mentor or anyone like you around in our lives? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We actually run a spiritual school. We do private mentorship. And then we have the online school is literally classes. You start at your own pace. They're a whopping $50 a month. There's a new class every week.
It does cost a little more if you're doing private one-on-one sessions with us, because we have to pay the bills, guys.
We're totally talking about the Anunnaki. Totally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We already been talking about that before we even started.
So Peace, Love, and Light says they've been going to the same market for years. And now I'm assuming your spouse, doesn't even know how to get there. And it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to book a session with us, if you on my profile, and I'll put it here on TikTok, if you go to the bluebodhi.com, you can book a session with Pam, with me. We do everything from just spiritual coaching to private mentorship to dream interpretation, aura readings, card readings, past lives, all of it. So yeah.
Soul readings.
Yeah. Soul readings. I don't know anybody in St. Louis, but yeah. But so let's hang on. Back. Okay. So with the time crystals, this is something that I've noticed the stories have suddenly cut off when they announced that they had been able to jump time forward several minutes, but they couldn't figure out how to go backwards. Well, duh. You're just figuring out how to jump forwards. You don't know how to go backwards. So the problem is, even before these stories came out, Pam and I were talking about.
We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, guys.
Yeah, we're in Tulsa. We were talking about how sometime this fall, really about now, we knew that the veil was going to fall. The veil, for those of you guys that don't know, the veil is what, Caesar, what is the veil? The veil is what keeps separate the things that have passed over, the things on the other side, and the physical realms. So there's 2 sides to the veil. So it's almost like the veil is like this in a way. This side over here, or whichever side, this side over here is the side where most of the things in the light go. So like when people pass away, animals, etc. The side over here is it's literally the darkness. It's the nothing. So if you like the never ending story, the nothing,
the void.
So there's good and there's bad. So most people in the spiritual community, in the spiritual realm, that have been in this aspect for a long time, it is like a wall. Exactly. But you can go back and forth a little bit. Mm-hmm. Most of the people that have been in this realm for a long time have felt for at least a year that this was coming. It's been getting lower and lower and thinner and thinner and thinner for a while. But yeah. So I really feel like this is going to happen way quicker than anybody realizes. For some reason, next week is very important, which is why on the 21st, instead of doing my normal card reads, we're going to celebrate Mabon here, live with everybody. So please come celebrate with us. But how do you protect yourself or prepare? That's the question. everybody has been preparing a little differently. For a while, it was really interesting. I felt very panicked with some stuff. Which one? Hang on. Oh, y'all need to come to the Lord. He loves you. I appreciate that. I'm actually a licensed minister, have been for a long time. And yep. So I appreciate that. But I am happy to debate this at any time with anybody, because the Lord is not the only God that's out there. In fact, he himself even acknowledges in the Bible that there are 55 other gods he talks about in the Bible. So just saying.
So let me just say, a lot of people are saying they really would like to book an appointment with us, but they don't really know what to do. My advice would be to just schedule some spiritual counseling, and then we can discuss what you're having issues with or how we need to proceed from there. That would be, I think that would be like the basic thing that you could do.
And that we can talk about literally anything.
Yeah.
And trust me, guys, you're not going to surprise us with anything. I've been doing this professionally since 2014. Nothing really surprises me anymore. Nothing really surprises me anymore. So if you think you got something to surprise me, bring it. But
you can schedule with her, you can schedule with me, or you can schedule with both of us together. You just have to message us to let us know you want to do it together, so that we can get because we don't have a way of blocking the other person's time out. So just let us know on a message there on the bluebodhi.com.
Yeah. Yeah. So we people are asking what all we do. If you go to the bluebodhi.com, you can see all the different things that we do and we offer. So yeah, but one of the things that we were talking about with time and the time shifts is with things fucking with time, it's caused a lot of problems. It's caused people to shift rapidly without realizing they're doing it and most of the time this happens very quickly. And a lot of times it happens when y'all are asleep and you don't realize it's happened until you wake up and go, okay, something, I don't know what's going on. I've had a few times when I've woke up and knew something was different. I have a lot of things that have come up missing. Pam and I have shifted while we were driving. It's been a weird thing. Yeah, you kind of always know when it happens, and you don't know how you know, but you know that it's different. And it makes you feel very disassociated, disconnected from friends, family, people that you've known your whole life. In fact, when we were talking about it one time, Pam made the comment. She was like, does that mean that my husband is not my husband anymore? And I said, well, yes and no. Means that your kids are not your kids anymore? Yes and no. They're still your kids. They're still your husband. They're still your wife. They're still your parents. But at the same time, they're a slightly different version of them, just like you are not the version of yourself that they had. So, yeah, it's kind of sobering to think about. It's very, very interesting to think about. So, yeah.
Yeah, doing it while driving is pretty scary. I mean, I had the whole road shift over a couple of feet right in front of me, and that is extremely terrifying.
Yeah.
And somebody said that they were driving, but felt like they went to sleep for a minute. When they came to, they were at home and they don't remember how they got there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit. And people are like, I feel crazy. I feel crazy. It does feel crazy.
Yeah. The road is moving. Sometimes I feel like the road is moving.
You just have to have such a good sense of self to know that you're not mentally ill. I don't know. Do mentally ill people know their shift happens? That's a good t-shirt. Yeah.
That made me snort laugh. That's fucking funny. Sorry. So yeah, that's going on the list. That's going on the list. So yeah, it's been crazy, and you do start to feel really mentally ill. And what sucks is it also makes you kind of pull into yourself a little bit, because suddenly you don't know who you can talk to about it.
Or you try to talk to someone about it, and then all of a sudden you're getting pulled into HR because they're concerned about your mental health because you're talking about things that...
Good night, Caramon, love.
Good night, babe. that people don't understand. And so you're just like, yep, that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And so you shut it the hell down and you
That's
keep
three,
it at home.
Three, Sabrina.
And you wonder, who can I talk to about this? I can't talk to my childhood best friend. I can't talk to, who do I talk to about this?
Yeah.
You know, because I think about that. I think how fortunate I am. I can talk to my husband because he knows that I've always been so out there with my spirituality, my thoughts and my beliefs. But, you know, not everybody has a best friend like Mandy who gets it. And I do truly feel bad for people who don't have anyone. That's why we're here.
That's why we'll be your witchy aunties,
that's why
guys.
we're your witchy aunties.
You can talk to us about whatever.
Anytime.
And just so you guys know, if you book an appointment with us, anything that's said to us in that appointment doesn't go anywhere else. Doesn't go anywhere else.
I mean, we may discuss it with each other.
Yeah.
If it's something pertinent to what's going on as far as the shifts and things of that nature, we do discuss it.
So I paused it on this. Somebody's asked a couple times about Gabby Petito and her disappearance and so on. So and I had to go back down. Sorry. So with that, I just caught that story the other day and read about it and watched her on that video and so on like that. That dude knows exactly what happened to her.
I don't watch the news. I've seen bits and pieces and I know her name because I've seen that she disappeared. I don't know any of the details about that.
Yeah, I watched. It's weird because I usually don't look at stories like that.
Where are you having an earthquake?
Oh, wow. Her boyfriend is on the run now. Yeah. Yeah. And what's funny is I don't hardly ever look at look at the
you're by
news.
Yourself. Where are you, honey?
Yeah, where are you?
What state are you in? City and state. Is anybody else getting an earthquake? Oh, somebody else is saying there was an earthquake.
I just don't usually do the news, period. But that, for some reason, I felt compelled to watch it, especially with the camera, the body cam from the cop, like
Los
looking
Angeles.
At her, yeah.
Somebody's saying they could have sworn they felt an earthquake in Los Angeles. Yeah, guys. I mean, even the earth is shifting. Even the earth is. We're probably changing timelines. We're probably manipulating a lot of this, not meaning to, in how we're crossing back and forth and
I heard about the loud booms. Yeah. Yeah. The skies, the earthquakes, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, all of this stuff has been getting worse and worse and worse. And I know people are like, oh, well, it's just because we have more news and stuff now. No. I mean, yeah. So. Wow. Apparently I need to let you talk without interrupting you, Pam.
What?
So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, lots of hurricanes, man. Those have been horrid, horrid lately.
Yeah. So let's talk about ripples, because we were going to talk about ripples and we keep like going back. Yeah. So, oh, you live on the fault line in Inglewood. Oh, girl. Y'all right? So the time crystal itself is interesting because they kind of stopped talking about it, which scares me a little bit. So, yeah.
4.4 in Carson, California. Wow.
Yep. Oh.
You're not alone. As long as you got internet, you've got us right here. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone, sweet pea.
Nope. We're here.
We got you.
We got you, baby.
So, but let's talk about the ripples. So what I was talking about with ripples is, and somebody needs to hear this, and I have a feeling it's some of you guys that have talked about losing some people lately. But when I'm say ripples, that I'm talking about what happens with one particular life and all the ripples that it makes. We were talking about this in class this last weekend, because somebody said, well, if I wasn't here, then it really would just affect my husband because he'd have to do the dishes or something like that. That's not true though. So I want you guys to think about it this way. If something happened to, say something happened to you right now, and you're married and you have 2 kids. Something happens, you pass away. Yes, it affects those 3 people very, very deeply because that's your spouse and your children. However, it also affects all of your family, so sisters, brothers, dads, uncles, grandmas, moms, etc. It also affects everybody around those people. So let's start with just the husband. It not only affects the husband, but it affects everybody at his job, because it's not even so much that he has to take off work for a funeral or whatever. They feel his grief. They feel his pain. They feel empathy for him. So it also affects, say your husband has an office and he has a secretary. So he goes and he tells the secretary what happened and, so on. It affects her because now she goes home and she hugs her husband a little tighter. It affects him because he's like, why the fuck are you hugging me a little tighter? Why are you clingy? What's going on? And she tells him, well, then he starts hugging his parents a little tighter, the kids a little tighter, her a little tighter. It just keeps on going and going and going and going.
Oh, awesome.
So
thank you. We appreciate that.
So yeah. But if you can literally take one person and then remove them, one person like husband, his boss, his wife, you know what I mean?
And even the people at his work who have to now pick up the slack and work for them. So that puts them away from their families more and for longer periods of time. It's just the ripple, just throwing that pebble in the water and it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going.
So we had that conversation, and part of why I wanted to talk about these ripples is a lot of people lately are feeling very disconnected. They're feeling like they don't have anybody, or, if they weren't here, things would be better, or whatever the case. You're always going to matter, period.
Yes, that's a bone pin.
It is a bone pin. Yep, it is a coyote rib bone. So you're always, or not a rib bone, leg bone. Sorry. You're always going to matter, period. Because it's even going to affect your doctor, your dentist, the person at Quick Trip you see every morning. It's going to affect so many people without even realizing it. So part of the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I feel like somebody needs to hear it. The second part that I wanted to talk about is, we talked to a lot of people who were like, had somebody get yanked from this life early. There's been too many shifts lately with people getting yanked early because it's a domino effect. It's literally a ripple. If say you get yanked early, it affects everybody around you. But that means that you had a reason you had to get yanked, either to be a spirit guide, to move on to whatever it was that caused the universe to yank you early. Say it was because you needed to be a spirit guide for somebody that's supposed to be very important in their next life. Well, everybody is born with a certain number of spirit guides. The most I've seen is 10. Usually it is 3 to 7. These are the ones that you're born with that you have until you die. So if you take one person and say that one person has 5 spirit guides, that's 5 people. So you're one, that's 4 other people that got yanked to take care of this one person. So now look at all the ripples. If you yourself make, say, 3,000 ripples, and that's a conservative number for one person, and that's not even somebody that's super socially popular. That's just a normal person. Imagine how many ripples that is for 5 people. So people have been really, really feeling this a lot lately with the ripples and things like that. So yeah. So that's what I was talking about with ripples, because I felt like somebody needed to hear that. I've had to explain that to a lot of people, in either past life readings or spiritual counseling or whatever, where someone got yanked early because they had a very important role to play for someone else.
Right.
And it's almost like a badge of honor in a way, if that makes sense, guys, because the fact that they got yanked early means that something caused dominoes to happen here or there. And now you have somebody who is meant to change part of the world that they've got to have their guides with them. So yeah, I'd be a horrible spirit guide. Your angels are not all your spirit guides. Correct. So here's the thing. So I do aura drawings, and I'll probably end up going to get Dustin here in a second because it's easier to illustrate, to show it. Let me get Dustin. It's just easier to show it. He likes to be shown off anyway.
And you have to realize too that your spirit guides are guiding you because they also have lessons to learn. They also have things that they have to do from the other side and things that they have to take care of. Thank you. Got a little kiss on my cheek. So yeah, it's not strictly
I guess I gotta sit
that's
closer
their
to the
job. Their job is to guide you because they're also trying to basically get their brownie points and get their creds up on the other side so that they can ascend as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So everybody has spirit guides. There are spirit guides that you were assigned at birth. They'll be with you till you die. They were people at one point. They will be people again. But you also have usually 2 to 4. There always seem to be an even number unless the thing on my own. Goodbye. Unless you've had something interesting happen that's pulled one of them. These are what you would call angels, divine beings. They never were people. They never will be people. So the easiest way to explain this is I'll show you Dustin. So for those of you guys that haven't seen Dustin, this is an aura drawing. This is what I do when I travel around. So
Physically travel around.
Yeah, physically. So I am the only aura artist in the US that does this. So when I touch somebody, I see a color and instantly see a color. This is actually really dark purple, not black, guys. But I instantly see a color. And when I hold somebody's hand for a minute, I see layers of color and shapes. Hence this. This right here would be Dustin Diamond, guys. This is his actual aura drawing. You can see where Screech is and where Dustin is. The dots around up there are spirit guides. These here are, well, he's only got one, but these here are what you would call guardian angels or whatever. With the spirit guides up here.
They're saying, what is that? Tell them what the layers when you touch someone.
Oh, okay. So when I touch someone, this dark layer here, this dark purple, that's the first color I saw when I shook Dustin's hand. That's your core color. It's hard to see in here, but there's a dark layer of purple, a medium, and then that purple, and the yellow. So all the layers, you have your core, you have a spiritual layer, you have an emotional layer, a mental layer, and then you have a layer called there's a big long scientific name, and I murder it every time. I just call it the underneath. And then everybody also has their electromagnetic field. Anybody can train themselves to see that. So somebody said that's very dark in the middle. Does that mean he's sad? Not necessarily. So
very spiritual.
Purple is a very spiritual color. It's also a very creative color. What's interesting about this drawing right here is that we met Dustin about 6 months before he passed away is when I did this drawing here for him. So there was a big shift going on in him at that time because he was really moving over to more of a spiritual aspect of life and looking at things. So the middle part right there is because he was really walking down a spiritual path trying to figure things out. The yellow on the outside is the Screech aspect of him. That's when he has to be Screech and be on and performing. So yeah. So spirit guides come and go. Okay, let me take that back. You have some you were born with. They're going to be there for the rest of your life. You also have some that will come and go as other people pass away that are around you. So parents, siblings, etc. Some people will assign themselves to you, or they're assigned to you already because they're in your soul tribe. So they will come and they will stay. Other people, they may come and they may be around you and several other people and so on. Yeah, I'm gonna let Pam talk for a minute because I need to get a drink of water. Like,
we're glad you found us as well, guys. We're just glad you guys are here. So someone says, I was told I had a red-haired Irish witch, but I'm not ready to see her as a spirit guide. Doesn't matter if you're ready to see her.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're ready to see her, if she's there. I mean, why not take a peek if she's always there anyway? I would just take a peek.
So everybody does have a spirit animal too. So yeah.
You can even do spirit guided meditations to meet your spirit animal.
Yeah.
And people are saying, I would like to know who my spirit guides are. Well, we can do spirit guide readings as well if you're interested in that. I'm not going to pull these cards and say, oh, it's your great Uncle Joe. It doesn't work that way. We just will 3, 4, ever how many we're led to pull for. They're the spirit guides that are around you right at this moment that you're needing the most guidance from at this time, because there can be many, but there are specific ones for specific lessons and specific things that you're needing in your life at this time. And we hear people saying, you know, all your ancestors and your spirit guides, and like, well, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You don't have to know who they are, because they know who you are.
Yeah.
They know why they're here to guide you. They know what their role is in your life. So you'll start feeling, when you have specific ones, that you start feeling these nudges from your spirit guide, but it's always the one who you've noticed comes around when you're maybe working too hard and you need to slow down and you need to take a breath and you need to gather yourself, and you start getting these patterns of, oh, that must be the same one. When the last time I felt really overwhelmed with my job, I kept feeling this, hearing these, you know, ringing in my ears, and these just felt like I was being tapped on the shoulder or something. You'll start learning like their personalities and when they're around you the most, so that you don't have to know a specific name or who they are. They can just be there. Just let them be there and let them help you.
Yeah. So, someone said my phone froze when you were talking about Dustin. Yeah, he likes to get shown off. Trust me, he does. So what's funny is when I did this drawing for him, he actually left it in Oklahoma City and couldn't find it. Him and his girlfriend were looking for it everywhere. And when Pam and I went back to Oklahoma City this last, was it May? Was May? I can't remember. Anyway, we went back for, hang on. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. So whenever we went back, the guy who runs the cons in Oklahoma City actually had it and gifted it to me. And so I told his girlfriend I had it so she wouldn't freak out and continue to look for it. But so one day soon, very soon, we'll make it to Florida and I'll get to hand deliver Dustin back to her. But in the meantime, trust me, he likes to be shown off, I'm sure. So someone said, by chance, do you remember what color I was? You did my palm reading at Crypticon, the bald guy. I remember who you are, but I don't remember what color you were. I'm so sorry. I totally remember because we talked about all kinds of interesting shit during your palm reading. So yeah. But I do. Yeah, I do absolutely remember who you are.
I remember the guy for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have to remember, sometimes when I go to those events, I touch so many people, like, because I've had to quit being so touchy, because sometimes I'll just like, oh yeah, touch somebody like that and
kabam.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a bubble film in doorways. Interesting. Is that every doorway or what?
I need people to follow me.
So yeah, Pam's going to get on here so you guys can follow her. I would tell her just to jump on her live there, but
no. No. We'll do that Tuesday.
That's fine. So, I've seen people that have a few different animal guides. They might have 2 or 3. I've seen people only have 1. Yeah. So what other questions do you guys have?
Oh God, there were a boatload of them. A lot of it's about spirit guides right now, wanting to know how they find their spirit guide. We can do the reading for you, or you can do your own guided meditations.
Ooh, that's a great one. How do we know which God to reach out to for help? So that, my friend, is an amazing question. A lot of times they're poking you and being very overbearing with their signs, and you don't even know it. So one of the things I would recommend is to start paying attention to certain signs you see, certain things you're drawn to, such as animals, trees, flowers, places in the world, etc. They're usually pretty obvious about who they are. Pam's TikTok is at Native Dreamwalker. It's got her little face up there, so you can't miss her. Let me play on her iPad because she left it unattended. So there you go. I put hi on there for a Pam. So that's just scrolled past Pam real quick, but yeah. Okay, hang on. All right. I was able to envision my brother and went into his dream, and he confirmed, is this astral projecting? No, babe, that's dream walking. And Pam will be right back. So yeah, that's dream walking. So on some of the symbolism for the animals and stuff, guys, that stuff you guys can look up because I don't know. So dragonflies are one that I do kind of know. Dragonflies are usually seen as someone visiting you. They're able to go back and forth between realms. So, hang on a minute. What about visits from past loved ones in dreams? How can we communicate with them more? Okay, so that's a great question. One of the ways you guys can communicate with people that have passed on in your dreams or while you're asleep is you have to be very careful with this, but you want to set yourself ready that evening and say to them, whether it's out loud or whatever, that you want to leave yourself open to talk to that person. But this is where you have to be careful. You have to be very specific with it. I only say your dad's name was Joe. You want to talk just to him. That's it. You need to leave it open. I only will talk to my dad. I only want to talk to Joe. I will not talk to anything negative, not talk to anything in my higher good, not, you know what I mean? Like set super clear parameters on it before you do. And you may have to do this a couple of nights before he comes to you in a dream. Oh, I am going to talk about lucid dreaming. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Let's talk about lucid dreaming. There's a way you can train yourself to lucid dream, guys. It does take a lot of practice and it does take a lot of dedication. It's easy but hard because it takes a lot of dedication. The first thing you want to do is get something to wear around your wrist that you have never worn before, that's physical, you can reach down and touch. So whether it's a colored rubber band, whether it's a weird bracelet, something like that, it has to be something that you can wear all the time, even in your sleep. So every hour on the hour, you need to set an alarm on your phone. Every hour on the hour. When that goes off, you say this bracelet right here is the one I'm going to use, and I'm going to sleep in it and everything. You reach down and physically touch it, play with it, snap it, whatever, physically touch it every single hour. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Just even if you're typing or something, just reach over, touch that bracelet. Okay. That trains your brain that every hour when you're awake, you see that and you feel it and you know you're awake. So in your dream, in your sleep, what you doing?
I'm trying to put my...
Oh, here. So in your dream, in your sleep, that alarm's going to go off and you're going to reach down because you've been training your brain, and it will take a few nights. It takes about 2 or 3 weeks to do this, guys. But it teaches your brain this is awake when you can feel and touch it. Eventually, they'll get to a point where that alarm will go off while you're dreaming, and you'll go in your dream to look down or reach down, and that bracelet won't be there. So guess what's going to happen? it instantly shoves your brain into lucid dreaming, because now you know you're asleep. Because you know when you're awake, that bracelet, that rubber band, whatever it is you have on you is there. So there you go. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication, but it's really easy at the same time. So yeah.
And I've lucid dreamed my entire life. So it's hard for me to teach someone how to do it.
Say, oh, what would be a reason? I've seen many spiritualists who say that you can't have a reading. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. And this is something that Pam and I hear a lot, and it kind of makes me a little irritated every time I hear it. I've had people tell me that someone said they couldn't read their palms, that they couldn't do a Reiki session, that they couldn't do all these things because they had a negative entity attached to them, or some shit like that. Or they just couldn't read them, or they whatever. Now, I do know people that will refuse to read certain people, which I don't. The only time I have ever like not read somebody is if they were driving me nuts and they were kind of being an asshole. Then I'm not the reader for you, man. I'm sorry.
Healing.
Yeah.
Is where they
healing now.
Healing.
That I don't understand at all.
That's what it's for.
We've heard a few people that have said, well, so-and-so said this healer or whatever said that they couldn't do Reiki on me for whatever reason. That's bunk. That's bunk, man, because I've been a grandmaster teacher. I've been a grandmaster for about 2 years now. I've been a master teacher since 2014.
Maybe they weren't feeling confident because you had a certain illness and it's not something that they had dealt with. So they chose that route of, oh, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they should have just said, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm not, maybe you should go to someone more experienced with that. I don't know. And I don't know the situation, but there should have been no reason why someone couldn't do that for you.
Now, there are people that are energy wells that sometimes if you come across a Reiki practitioner that's newer, they don't know how to handle it. So they may not be able to work on you. So, because here's the thing, when somebody is working on you healer wise, that you guys are literally kind of exchanging energy. That person is supposed to be like a dialysis machine for your energy. So they kind of take it, regurgitate it, send back the good and send out the bad. For an energy well, someone that's an energy well, their body overproduces energy. So they will overheat that healer really quickly if they're not used to it, or if that healer doesn't have a way to disperse it. And it's just something you have to learn how to do, because the first couple of times I had someone come to me that was an energy well, I got overwhelmed very quickly. You start sweating, you start getting dizzy. I mean, you just burn up. It's crazy. You have to learn how to deal with it. So yeah. So I'm the battery. Exactly. People that are energy wells, so on my TikTok, guys, you might have to scroll down a little bit, but there's a gentleman that I duetted his video. Go watch the whole video. I duetted it because I wanted you guys to see it. I wanted to be able to point it out. He in the video, he has on a red plaid shirt, nicer looking gentleman with a beard. He's an energy well. So this you can feel it through the fucking video. It's crazy. People that are energy wells have to find a way to dispel that energy, or it overwhelms them. So a lot of times people that are energy wells and they don't know how to get rid of it, they tend to have like a severe, manic all the time sometimes.
So somebody's want to know the difference between spirit guide and your guardian angels, or are they the same? Oh, they're not the same. Guardian angels are usually beings that have never been a person, will probably never ever be a person. Your spirit guides are someone who has been on this plane before and passed over, and are your spirit guides. And someone asked also, can someone who has taken their own lives be your spirit guide? Absolutely. You have to realize when you're here and you cross over, you kind of start out on ground zero. And the more you do, your vibration even has to increase just like it does here on the other side. So if they're spirit guides, the more good they're helping us do, the more lessons they're helping us learn, the more lessons they're learning, it is helping them on the other side to be able to get their vibrations up too, so that they can ascend, because there is that process there as well. So yeah. Now, mind you, someone who takes their own life may start out on a lower vibration because of how they came to be there. But they can very quickly, when they have worked through everything what brought them there, and they realize, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that, because 9 times out of 10, when they cross over, they realize, God, I should not have taken this route. Then they are starting out here, and as they get placed with someone and they've had their debriefing and they get placed with someone, they're very quickly, they're going to be helping someone. They'll get placed with someone who maybe is having a lot of the same issues that they dealt with here. And that's their lesson, is to help them to sort through all of this and get through all of this so that their vibration can go up, as well as the person that they're helping.
So there's a couple questions and I had stopped it for a minute, but I had to scroll down. Someone said, off topic, John Edwards said that there's not a veil, and that person said, I find it hard to believe he of all people would say that. I find it very hard to believe as well, especially with what he does. So I'm not a John Edwards fan. I'm just going to say that. I used to watch him a little bit.
Same.
And I'm not a fan. I don't think he has the abilities that he says he does. I'm sure he has some, but it's not. So yeah. But
and that is his opinion.
Yeah, that's his
just
opinion.
Like what we're saying is how we feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So take everything with a grain of salt, guys. But somebody else was asking several times about a love spell for getting someone back after 4 weeks. So here's going to be my response to that, babe. Why would you want that person back? Really think about that.
Not trying to say you don't love them with your whole heart and soul, but I wouldn't want someone with me that I made be with me.
Yeah. I do not ever do or offer or anything like that with love spells that fuck with free will. Now, something that could bring in your soulmate, something that could bring in the person you need in your life right now. Yes, I'm happy to help you with that. However, when it comes to anything that fucks with free will, nope. Because I don't want someone with me that doesn't want to be with me. I don't want someone with me that I'm going to be stuck with or want to have in my life and then miss my soulmate. I don't want to fuck with free will, because that always backfires. So, yeah.
And someone asked way earlier, and it just popped into my head. I was wanting to remember it. Somebody said, can you be a Christian and be Wiccan?
Absolutely. I know a lot of Christian Wiccans, a lot of Christian witches, a lot of Christian Buddhists. I know Buddhist witches. I consider myself one. Yeah, there's a lot. You can be whatever you want to be, love. Fuck the box. You don't have to fit yourself in a box.
And people are asking, how long does a spiritual awakening, how long does this last? How long does it take?
I'm going to let you answer that.
It's different for every single person. There's no way to go, okay, so I started March 11th. That means I should be through in 6 months. It doesn't work that way. It's literally a process. And wouldn't it be great if we could just all go through it together and all reach there together? And
there's a yawn, Sabrina.
Everybody just, that way we could all have each other to bounce off of. What is this meaning? What does this mean? It doesn't really work that way. Everybody gets to it at their own pace. It depends on how much you delve into it or how much you fight it.
That's a good question. So hang on, we're going to talk about that shadow man. So really, guys, the spiritual awakening, once you hit it, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. You're going to go through phases up and down. You're going to have times when you feel like you understand everything. And then maybe the next day or 2 months away or whatever, you're in a dark night of the soul. I mean, it's literally like this. It's kind of like grief. you never fully get over losing someone out of your life. But so someone said that they had a shadow man that was in their 4-year-old's room talking to them. My son just scared the shit out of Pam. There you go. Y'all got to see it live. That was
Holy
funny. So they asked if this was a good thing or a bad thing. I would need to know a few things about this shadow person, about the things that their kid was saying, and so on, because that could be several different things. Overall, if this kiddo is not having nightmares, if this kiddo is not saying a bunch of weird things or talking about the man being bad, I would say that it's probably either a spirit guide, something in the house, or it could just be an entity that's taken an interest in your kid, because your kid can actually see them.
They just talk and play, but then throws their belongings. Hey.
So the throwing things, that's not, that bothers me a little bit. I would flat tell him, hey, look, you're not allowed to throw shit.
You got to set your boundaries.
But if they just talk and play, I would just keep an eye on it. I would just keep an eye on it. But you can let that shadow person know that he's there and you're keeping an eye on it.
So another question that goes back to lucid dreaming, they're like, so once you realize you're lucid dreaming, then what? Well, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You enjoy it because you can do anything you want to do. You are in control of that dream. And it is very, very helpful for people who have nightmares and night terrors. If you're having a nightmare, you can change the whole trajectory of that dream by being lucid and going, okay, yeah, no, this is not going to happen. And you can change how the dream ends.
So I will say that sometimes when you first hit the lucid dreaming, it can wake you up because your brain gets so excited. Like, oh God.
Yeah. It takes a bit. It takes a few times.
I want to talk about this. So Elkins Bunch said, my husband saw a tall, dark figure with a white face and 2 smaller ones next to the bed. Okay. One of y'all's traveling. Here's why. And I wish I could show a picture. I still have the picture on my phone. I'm sorry. Pam's going to hurt me for this. But when I saw that, my hair stood up. So the thing that followed me back from the astral plane and terrorized me for a long time, it's exactly how they kind of look. They're usually cloaked. They're usually in black. When you see their face, it's not quite a face. It almost looks like they just have in the horror movies where it's white, but it just has the dent for their eyes. There's no actual opening. It'll look like that, or it'll look just smooth. The one that liked to terrorize me, his face was like an upside down teardrop, but it kind of came to a point in the middle, and it looked like carbon fiber mesh that was continually moving.
Almost like a fencing mask.
But moving continually. So that right there, having not only the one, but 2 smaller ones, tells me that somebody's been traveling a lot and they pinged the interest of something. So that's, that's not a good thing. They need to go bye-bye. They need to go bye-bye.
Which is why you need to be protecting yourself with the white light, with the egg around you every night before you go to sleep.
My turn to walk off.
Because you don't know when you're doing that. You're not aware when that is happening most of the time. So that if you don't have protections in place all the time, no matter what, you are going to eventually ping the interest of something, especially now, especially with people who are ascending, who are spiritually awakening, who are coming into their gifts, who don't realize that everything is getting more intense and stronger, and they're able to do those things more easily or without even realizing it, because they don't realize how powerful that their gifts are becoming. If you don't protect yourself all the time with the white light, wrap yourself around white light, I put an egg around myself. I fill that egg with white light, and I say what can permeate through that light, because you don't want to keep everything excuse me, you don't want to keep everything out. I say what can come through, which is my God, who is my Native American God, Uneshana, and my guardian angels, my spirit guides, and my ancestors that are for my higher good only, because they're not always for your higher good. So I say what can come into that space. And I also say that only those can go into my dreams with me and return from my dreams with me. Nothing else is allowed to return in the dream state back into my body except for what I mentioned.
Yeah.
You have to be very specific, guys, because if you don't even realize you're paying the interest of these things, they will piggyback on you and they will take that to come through this realm into this space, and they will torture you. I had it done to me in my whole childhood until I figured out how to protect myself.
Yeah.
So do it with your children. Don't ever think your child is too small or too young that they can't figure it out, because people teach their children how to pray every night, say their, bedtime prayers. Make the white light, the egg and the white light, be a part of that routine every night when they're going to bed. You do it with them. You do it for them. You do it with them. And then when they're confident enough, then they can do it on their own and protect themselves.
So someone asked if antidepressants can keep you from a spiritual awakening or from feeling it fully. Absolutely. Yeah. Because here's what happens. When you hit a spiritual awakening, most of the time you hit the dark night of the soul first, which looks a lot like depression because you're working through a lot of shadow shit in your mind. So naturally, most people will say, oh, go to the doctor. You need some antidepressants. You need this or that or whatever. So you go to the doctor. So yeah, they throw you on antidepressants because it looks like you're depressed. So it blocks all the shit going on. And now you're on antidepressants because you don't need to be on antidepressants. You needed to process through that stuff.
But there are people who do need to be on antidepressants.
Yeah, we're not saying no. So,
and that I am not in any way, shape, or form condoning or telling anyone to stop taking your medication. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. You have to, those are something that you have to slowly have a doctor wean you off of.
Yeah.
And if that is something you want to do, work with your physician and let them know what you want to do so that you can be monitored closely, because there's horrible side effects to coming off of antidepressants. But if you truly need them, I don't think it's going to stop a spiritual awakening completely. It is when you're going through a dark night of the soul and you're having a lot of anxiety and depressive feelings because you're trying to understand what is happening to you and you don't truly need the antidepressants, is when that can block that. But if you are truly needing antidepressants, it's not going to stop a spiritual awakening.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw several of you talking about us teaching and being open and upfront and honest. That's literally why we do this. That's why we do this every Friday night. We talk about as much as we can. Sometimes we could probably go for way more time or whatever, but we do this every Friday night at 9, and we don't charge for it. We don't say you guys have to pay us for us to talk about this shit. You guys
and what we talk about, guys, is what we can talk about in a private session. If you guys want to set up a private session, just go to the bluebodhi.com. You can book an appointment with Mandy. You can book an appointment with me. You can have us both together. You just need to send us a message and let us know that's how you want to do that. And, our mentorship program, what we talk to you guys about is just a little sampling of what our classes are like.
So our mentorship program, it's a full year long, year and a day. You do get certificates for it. Our school is also accredited. So if you ever wanted to join a guild, a group, a coven, a clan, whatever, you have your full year and a day. We start with the basics of a lot of things and build a very solid foundation and go from there. And we even talk about 42 or 43 different religions in there, because we want to give you guys a buffet and you pick out what resonates with you.
And you know what? If you like, this religion sounds really, really interesting. I'm going to
Yeah.
delve into it more. But you know what? This one does too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Put
Yeah.
them together.
Mm-hmm.
Make it what you want to make it, because no one has to answer for who you are and how you are but you.
Yeah.
So why not live your best, most authentic life, doing what resonates with you and what gives you joy and gets you through this shit show that we're going through right now.
And on the Blue Bodhi, guys, we also have a forum on there. You do have to sign up, and it makes you say you want a subscription. It's zero, like it doesn't cost anything, but to keep the forum private, and so we can monitor who's in there and who's not, you do have to like sign up for it. But the forum is a safe place for anybody spiritually. There's no, like, we're not going to judge you. No one else is going to judge you. It's for you guys to have a place to talk about things, not feel like people are going to say you're crazy, etc. We also have a Facebook group called Spirituology 101. And I will post a video about that where you guys can join it. But all you got to do, if you go to Facebook and you look up the exact title of this, Spirituology 101, and join, there are 3 questions basically to weed out the bots and so on. Please come join us there. Come join us on the forum, because we hear way too many times a day how people all over the place don't have somebody they can talk to about this stuff. And we want to build that community up so everybody knows they're not alone out there, because that it breaks my heart to hear people talk about not having someone, not having anybody to talk to.
I just put the links up there, guys, on TikTok for the mentorship for our school is trilliumspiritualcenter.com, and to book appointments for spiritual coaching, spiritual counseling, any readings, oracle or spirit guide.
Come across.
Well, I did it.
Or maybe it just went too fast and I didn't see it. I'll have Pam put it there again.
Wow. I don't know. Where did it go?
I don't know. I never saw
right here.
Oh, okay. Will you type in Spirituology 101 on Facebook so people can find that group? So I'm going to have Pam type in the Facebook group as well. But yeah, we have on the Blue Bodhi, there's a forum. Yeah. We have the forum on the Blue Bodhi, and we also have, I'll also put a post. If you guys follow the Blue Bodhi and the Native Dreamwalker on Facebook, all of our social media is either the Blue Bodhi and the Native Dreamwalker. Like, but we both have everything under those 2 things. So if you guys go to the Blue Bodhi on Facebook, I will make sure that I post it. Pam on the Native Dreamwalker will post it. So you guys have a forum to talk to and have other people around you. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than feeling alone in this.
Yeah.
Now you're going to come to a phase where you do pull back from, for lack of a better term, the muggle world, because people just don't get it. But you're not going to feel so much like you're pulling away when you are on a forum and you're talking to people who get it. People who aren't in for the small BS talk about, going to the lake over the weekend with their new boat and they're pulling their new truck with their, people are just, when you reach this phase, you're just kind of done with all of that and the material crap. It just, don't get me wrong. We all have to live in this world. We have to. So we have to pay our bills. We have to go to work. We have to do all the BS that gets us through it. But it doesn't mean that we can't have the most spiritual experience and be woke people and be around the people that get it.
Yeah. And yep, I feel like I'm preparing for a fight. It's exactly it. Those of us in the spirit realm, there's a whole bunch of different, every culture has a prophecy, has things about this happening. I particularly do not believe that the Mayans predicted the end of the world in 2012. I believe they predicted the end of the veil, and that those that were deciphering it got it wrong. And there's a whole huge thing about it on the internet. If you look it up, that it's instead of being 2012, it was 2021. Like
it is
now.
spiritual warfare.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
And the more you delve into this and the more you walk this path, the harder it gets. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat shit for you and say, oh my God, it's just the most amazing thing. No, because the harder you try to raise your vibration and reach this spiritual place, the more all the lower vibrational crap starts trying to come at you, and it's not fun and it's not easy, but my God, it's worth it.
So some of you guys said you're having trouble finding the Facebook group. If you will follow one or both of us on Facebook, as soon as we get off here, we'll both post a link to it so you guys can join it, because it's a private group and sometimes it may not show up if you're looking, because we just didn't want it to be public where everybody can see what's posted in there. We want you guys to have a safe place where you can share and not be worried about somebody judging you.
When will we be in Albuquerque? Do you have dates?
We will be in Albuquerque from the 8th through the 10th, the second weekend of October.
What she said, because I have no idea.
So on Facebook, it's just the Blue Bodhi or the Native Dreamwalker. Is it the Native Dreamwalker?
No,
it's just Native Dreamwalker.
Dreamwalker.
So yeah. So if you want to follow us both on Facebook, the Blue Bodhi, Native Dreamwalker.
And follow me on TikTok, y'all. I like to post stuff too.
Yep. We are coming to Indianapolis. It'll be probably next summer before we head that way. For those of you guys that are in Wichita, Colorado Springs, or Denver, Colorado Springs, Durango, Albuquerque, or Amarillo, we'll be coming through there the first 2 weeks of October.
Yes, on Tennessee. We don't have any dates squared away, but that's absolutely on our list.
For those of y'all in Texas, we'll be coming down there in November. And then December, January, and February, we haven't planned out yet, but we will be going across the desert to Southern California. Then we'll also be going across the South, and we'll also be doing a trip down into Florida. So, yep, we will be headed to Nevada. We plan to hit every state in the U.S. So, yes. And when we're going to different places, not only are we doing in-person appointments, but we're doing meet and greets. We're also doing spiritual tours, so like of different spiritual places. So, for example, when we're in Colorado Springs, we'll be going through Garden of the Gods. Please come join us. It's on the Witches Walkabout Tour. We'll also be going to Mesa Verde. So please come join us. If you guys have recommendations for places we should go, especially spiritual places like that, please let us know. We would love to know. So yeah. Northern Nevada may be closer to next spring or next summer. So yeah. So Georgia will be sometime this winter. We're going to do the South and, the Southwest and so on this winter. So yeah, we have plans to hit every state. Yeah. So just keep following, keep watching. Oh, what's in my hand? This is my black moonstone sphere. Let's see if I can get her to shine for you guys. There we go. So yeah, this is oh wow, it shined on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this is my black moonstone sphere. I don't know why I felt the need to bring it in here. I also brought my blue apatite sphere in here. I've been playing with it too. I don't know why.
We'll be using them later. That's why.
So guys, we also do, on top of appointments and stuff like that, we also do candle work. We also do shamanic traveling on your behalf. We've got 3 people that we've got to do some stuff for this evening when we get off of here. We do a lot of weird shit that most people don't do. Because we understand that sometimes you guys can't do it. You can't do it at home. So, yeah.
What are Akashic records?
Great question. So, Akashic records are the records of your entire soul. This is every life, in between, future lives, etc. It goes through everything from so consider it like your permanent records at school. This is just for your whole soul, all of it. So yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till we go to Connecticut.
Yeah. What's normal? That's a great question.
We're glad you guys found us.
Yes.
We love spending this time with you guys. We love reaching as many people as we can and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. We just teach.
So can you help someone heal? Are you talking about us or are you talking about you? Pam and I both are Reiki master teachers. Yeah.
And I was a born healer,
Mm-hmm.
To my detriment quite a bit, before I realized what was happening.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What is up with that? Did you hear that? So my kid's dog came up and was wanting me to pet him. So I was petting him and then I stopped petting him and he like literally whined at me. He doesn't do this.
We're glad you guys found us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. We're so glad.
You know, we know that everybody's going through. Thank you, Angela. We know that everybody is going through such a hard time, such a rough time, just trying to navigate. We are too. Everybody, we're all having a hard time. That's why we want to get on here. That's why we want to let you guys know you're not alone. We're experiencing this with you. That's why we talk about it, is because it's things that we're going through. We're feeling a lot of physical symptoms of the ascension and of time shifting and timeline shifting and rippling, and things are just really amping up, and we want everyone to know you're not alone. We'll figure it out together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have tons of mentors, and Pam does too, that if we don't know something, we don't know everything. Never, ever do I claim to know everything. In fact, I'll tell you, I don't know shit about Jack. But somebody said, oh, but we'll find out. We'll ask. We'll find out. Somebody said, what does it mean when I see dark figures running quickly through the halls? Also, my roommate sees them. So that would be shadow people fucking with y'all. You can tell them to stop. You literally can tell them to stop. They're doing it to get your attention. And if they're running through the halls really quickly like that, it tells me they're probably younger ones. They're literally trying to fuck with you. If you're not having any other things going on, yeah.
I don't know shit about jack shit.
Shirt. I don't know shit about Jack shirt. Yep. I don't know shit about Jack, man.
Oh, shirt.
Yeah.
Well. These 51-year-old eyes, y'all.
We're glad you guys have found us too. We hear that a lot, and that's why we're trying to make sure that everybody has a safe space where they can go and talk about this stuff. And
question about the pyramids.
No, I didn't
see a question about. Repost that, please.
Yeah. Shadow people. Shadow people are a type of entity that usually you only see out the corner of your eye. But when you do see them or catch them on a video or something like that, it just looks like a shadow of a person. They have a hierarchy, just like people, I guess, with there being ones that are on a repetitive loop. Then they have some that are interactive. Then they have different sizes. And at the very tip top would be the Hat Man. The Hat Man is not ever a good thing. When you guys see the Hat Man, he's a bad omen. So how do you tell all the stones you buy are genuine? That's really hard. So the ones that I buy, there's a couple of stone vendors that come through Tulsa. I buy mine directly from them. I know a few good reputable vendors, and that's who I try to buy from. But sometimes even they get tricked. So sometimes it's really hard. Now I will say there's a lot of things flooding the market right now that look like citrine.
They're putting the pyramid question.
That look like citrine, but it's glass. Oh, okay, Tuck. Where the pyramids, both of the ones inverted, so the tips touch.
That's funny. I just found her drawing the other day that she had tucked away on one of the shelves, and it was literally a drawing of tip to tip pyramids, and she had drawn like where they're like spinning. Yeah.
So one spins one way and the other spins the other way. Wait, I don't know how to do that. Yep, that's it. I am not sure what that means. So someone said, during Akashic reading, do you access our records and tell us about our past, present, future lives? Yes and no. So if you guys have ever wanted to get an Akashic record reading, first, read about what they are. Second, think about your questions. Have them planned out. I require that everybody comes to a reading, an Akashic record with me with 3 to 5 questions. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to connect. Sometimes it takes 20. Sometimes it takes 10 seconds. It just all depends. You also have to be open to it, because if you're not open to it and you don't agree to it, I can't get in. They won't let me. I can't just go look at anybody's records. I have to have permission. So I also will record them, especially on Zoom. I will record them and I will put them on YouTube privately. They don't go public. Right. Privately. So only you have the access to them, because you need to be paying attention to what's being said, not worried about writing it down. You can go back and listen to it later. Because once I get in there, it's like the way that they're shown to me, and everybody sees them differently. The way that they're shown to me is like a humongous, beautiful modern warehouse, and everybody has a drawer with like a pearl front. And so I pull that out, and this thing can go on for a very long time, but I get access to the file about the question you ask about. I pull that file and open it and look at it. When I put the file away, it's gone. I don't remember it. It goes. I'm not really allowed to remember it, if that makes sense. It sounds crazy. Like I look at this fake file in a fake universe, and then I tell you what it says, but I can't remember it.
So Juanita says, can your parents stop you from awakening? If you are open to it, no, they cannot stop you from awakening, especially if you are on that path and you are trying to figure it out and you're working at figuring it out. Mm-hmm. Nothing can stop your awakening.
Yeah.
They can hinder it. They can make it difficult. 5,
Sabrina.
They can make it difficult for you, Juanita, because for one, it gets you questioning, am I doing the right thing? Is this something I should be doing? And all this negative mm-hmm. can keep you from raising your vibration up, but no one can stop your awakening.
Sorry, my dog snores like a man, and he's snoring so loud, like both of us were like, what the fuck is going on?
You're correct there on TikTok. It's just distractions. It is distractions. Oh. And a lot of times people that are put into our path to get us off of our path aren't really doing it on purpose. Some are, but for the most part, that is their role.
So we actually do shadow work. We teach shadow work classes. We had one that just started. If you guys are interested, let us know. It's a 4-week class, or we do private shadow work sessions. We also, if you go to the bluebodhi.com, you can see everything we offer. So somebody asked about our fees. We try to stay really, really cheap. Unfortunately, we've heard about some horrendous prices. So for the most part, our full oracle readings, which are done with anywhere from 5 to 10 decks of cards at a time, they're 35 or 40. I can't remember. And our spiritual coaching is like $30. Like we really try to stay cheap, because we love what we do.
They're saying, how do you schedule on the Blue Bodhi? If you're scheduling for a reading, there's a booking.
Yeah. So if you're on the Blue Bodhi, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see like me, and you'll see Pam, and then you'll see services and stuff like that. And there's a book now under there. There's also up at the top on the menu, there's a whole page for services, and you can see everything.
Scroll back down just a couple of little. Will I get my oracle reading on YouTube? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I've got a lot of people I got to catch up on, and you guys have to forgive me. So I got a little bit of food poisoning this week, and I had to move. I had to reschedule some people, and I'm behind. So just letting you know, I feel better now, but I was pretty damn sick.
So someone on TikTok says, Pam, what did you mean by healing at your detriment? Well, before I realized that I was healing, because I'm a nurse, before I realized that I was
Gypsy
healing,
Soul, I'll get back to you, sweet pea.
I was like absorbing and taking and healing people, not even realizing that I was doing it and not releasing it. So I started getting very sick. I started having all these strange things that doctors couldn't diagnose me with, because there really was nothing wrong with me other than I was absorbing all of the sickness and illness that was coming out in me. And I was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia, which fibromyalgia is your umbrella for, we don't know what's wrong with you. We're sorry that you're hurting and in pain, but here's this diagnosis. We just don't know what to tell you. But I'm telling you, I don't have any of those symptoms. My lupus test, all of my ANAs, all of that shows completely normal. Like, I've been told by doctors, well, you're just in remission. Well,
Kim, I'm sorry, honey.
It's been a lot of years. So yeah, once you start realizing you're a healer and that you have to release, you can't hold on to what you're taking from people, then I'm telling you, it was a game changer for me to realize that and know that I can release that and I don't have to absorb it and be sick all the time, because there was times where I walked for an entire year with a cane because I could barely get around. I was in so much pain.
So Gypsy Soul on TikTok or YouTube, I'll message you back, love. I've got messages that have been piling up. We've got someone helping us, and they're trying to help go through them because they pile up even when I'm not sick. So yeah, we'll get back to you, love. I promise. And then somebody else asked about how long our courses are. So if you sign up for our courses on Trillium Spiritual Center, they're actually a year-long course. It's one class a week. And it's anywhere from an hour to hour and a half, sometimes a little like 2 hours, but not rarely are they 2 hours. But it gives you a base. It gives you a solid practice to start on and go from there.
Guys, if you're wanting to find this forum,
thank you, Gypsy,
on Facebook, Spirituology 101, it is private. So if you go to our Facebook page, either the Blue Bodhi or Native Dreamwalker, and you put a little note on our actual Facebook page and say, hey, can you invite me? We'll have your name, your Facebook name, so that we can go onto Spirituology 101 and invite you. Now, if we invite you, we may have to invite you to be our friend. I don't know how that works, but we may just do it just in the amount of time that we can get you switched over and into the group.
Yeah.
But we'll get it figured out.
We'll put a post on both of our pages on Facebook that with the group, so you guys can join. Yeah. What the hell was that? That was weird. That was a weird noise. Sorry. There's always weird noises.
If you're having a negative energy around you, literally put that egg shell, an egg around you, fill that egg with white protective light, and you say what can come through that. And you can damn sure say what can't. Any negative energy, anything that wishes me harm, ill will, that is not for my higher good, may not permeate through this shell and through this white protective light. You have control of all of this. Nothing can touch you, bother you, affect you if you don't give it the power.
Yeah. And so I lost it. See, brain fog right here. Sirens. Yeah, I live kind of close to one of the major hospitals.
Yeah, right by the biggest hospital in Tulsa.
Usually I don't hear them that much, but there was a weird, I heard something wood vibrating over there. It's weird. Somebody said that reading you were talking about for the records, can it be for court cases? That I wouldn't recommend that one for court cases. This one's like the record of your soul. So these are questions like, what kind of karmic bonds do I have? What do I have to accomplish on my path to reach enlightenment? Things like that. They're very in-depth. They're usually very emotional. So you guys need to be ready to hear them.
Readings are really not something you want to just jump into when you start your spiritual path.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other things that you really want to get ironed out first. When you are solid in who you are and what your path is and where you're going, and you really want to know about, soul bonds and like how many lives do I have left before I ascend? When you want to know the really, really in-depth things, once you have learned everything else,
good night, peace, love, and light,
then Akashic Records readings are good for you. But if you don't know what you're coming to ask, it is not recommended, because these are literally the records to your soul from the inception of your soul until you ascend. Past, present, future. So you have to really, really know what you want to ask. And it can't be, are Joe and I going to get married? Those are just not the types of questions, because it's not an easy process to go and ask to read your records when you're just wanting to know about your love life. I mean, if that makes sense.
So someone asked about the stones that were on our site. I put a few on there the other day because we had people asking about, do you have this stone? Do you have that stone? We don't carry them in person. So I put those on there as a way for you guys to get them at the same time if you're buying other things. We do have a couple of new teas that'll be on this week. We have a tea that we created for V. Neil, the makeup artist, that I didn't realize I didn't have on there. It's fucking fabulous. I drink it every morning.
I'm working on diabetic tea this week.
Yeah, diabetic tea. We've got a heart tea, things like that. So yeah. I'm seeing so many of you guys finding us on Facebook and asking for invites. That's fucking fabulous.
Love it.
We will go through there and invite all of you guys. So if you want to invite for the Facebook group, please just shoot the Blue Bodhi on Facebook, Native Dreamwalker on Facebook. You guys can totally find us.
Are Akashic records apart from any particular religion?
Nope.
This is literally your soul. I mean, your soul, the history and the records and everything about your soul.
Yeah. So, and you can ask about deaths in there. Now, question. I will say that sometimes be prepared for what you're going to hear. So, yeah.
And there are things that she can't just tell you, like, when will I die? Those aren't things that are in your higher good to know.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can say you're going to die in a horrific 18-wheeler accident in December of 2027. It doesn't work that way, because for one, that is not in your higher good to know that. That would change a lot of things in your current life that can change things. And they just would, I don't think that it wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. And so one thing too, when it comes to death and so on in this life or whatever, it's fluid. Nobody's death is set in stone. Especially now with all the ascension going on and with shit going crazy everywhere, people are getting yanked early a lot. And when somebody gets yanked early, there's those ripples, yanks other people early. So nothing is set in stone. Somebody asked if it can tell about your soul tribe, your soul family. Absolutely, it can.
Soul bonds.
Yeah. Yeah. So Facebook name again, the Blue Bodhi and Native Dreamwalker. So if you follow both of us, please follow both of us.
Yeah.
So the Blue Bodhi, Native Dreamwalker, because I mean, we post all kinds of stuff on our pages that, of course, we can't post on TikTok or YouTube because maybe they're articles or whatever. So follow both of us on Facebook. Yeah.
So Juanita was asking about the Akashic records, and she was saying, I asked because once my mother passed away, I started to feel everything. My aunts always told me that I was a witch, but it scared me a little at 66, and you found us on TikTok. Being a hereditary witch is a little bit different if it's your lineage. Witchcraft is literally just something, I mean, you don't have to be born into it. It is something that you can choose to do. You can choose to walk that path. I mean, it's completely up to you, but yeah, I mean, we're just glad you found us and you're getting it worked out. and we're here for you.
So somebody asked about a tea or whatever for court cases. I wouldn't recommend that. What I would recommend would be doing some candle work or a card reading to find out where it's going right now, what needs to happen to change it, etc. And then somebody else asks, how would you protect your property? I have 5 acres and I would love to make it a buffer zone. There are a few ways you can protect your property, and it depends on how much of a buffer zone you want. If you want a place that's just protected, that good can still come in as far as entities and so on, what I would do would be to take a piece of cedar. I would also take a quartz. I would mix you up the herbs you feel need to go in it, like rosemary or whatever. Bury that at each corner of the property. Start with your cardinal direction. Every zodiac sign has its own cardinal direction. So start with that direction and work in a clockwise manner. If you don't want anything, good or bad, you don't want grandma, you don't want the demon down the road, you don't want anything in there, you can actually drive a railroad spike in each corner of the property. But like I said, this is everything. No, nothing. You don't get anything. So, yeah. So, yeah, you can totally do all kinds of different candles. If you're wanting to do one specifically for a court case, orange or brown. Sometimes it's hard to find brown. Orange is really good. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, it's 1113. 1113. There'd be my number. So, guys, being that it's after 11 and we have some shit and some stuff we got to do for some people, we're going to jump off of here, but make sure you follow us on Facebook. Hey, Paula, make sure you follow us on Facebook, the Blue Bodhi, Native Dreamwalker. Like I said, we post all kinds of other stuff on there that we can't post on TikTok. Articles, memes, funny shit, serious shit, all of the shit. Yeah. So follow us, and we'll see you guys Tuesday. Don't forget, Tuesday, right here, YouTube and TikTok.
Let's celebrate
with us. We're going to celebrate Mabon, the pagan Thanksgiving. Grab your turkeys and all the good stuff. Come celebrate with us. We're just going to bullshit. Yeah. We'll see you guys later. Get everything off at the same time. I can't.
Good night, guys.
YouTube, you got to be last tonight. Good night.